What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Magnum West here, and today, if you can tell by the title of the video, we are talking about FOMO and if it's real and kind of more of the intricacies of it, because I think, especially in today's day and age where we are a very pre-order heavy like consumer market, I would say like pretty much everything now has a pre-order. Like you can pre-order Crocs, you can pre-order shoes, you can pre-order fucking snacks, you can pre-order pretty much anything nowadays. So I'm at least for the action figure side, I'm gonna try to give you some information on what the do's and don'ts and kind of some of the other things, right? When it comes to that. So here we're gonna start off with, if you're pretty, you have your ear to the ground in the action figure community, you know that Sexy Eyes 2019 kind of took everyone by surprise. I wouldn't say in a bad way, I would say in a good way. So these figures recently dropped. I've done a review, so I'll probably put it somewhere up here, something like that. So you can go ahead and check that out. But so they recently dropped this. I would say probably like a month ago, 2 months ago, and a lot of people missed out. A lot, like a lot of the people that I follow weren't able to get one like for this price, right? Which this is the 3 pack. I think individually they're like $80 if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of people missed out and had to pay, you know, quote unquote scalper price. I would say in this case, these pre-orders were up for a pretty long time. I think I pre-ordered mine like the week they showcased them, but they were on here for a pretty good minute. And yeah, so they were retailing for like the 3 pack was retailing, I'm sorry, selling on third parties like eBay, AliExpress, believe it or not, it was selling for like, I think roughly like $600 to $800 was where they were actually flying. I saw a lot of listings of like $1,000 and stuff like that. So why FOMO? Fear of missing out. Because things like this are, the company is literally telling you that they are not going to do reissues. I can't pull up where exactly they've said it, but I know I've read them commenting on multiple people's posts where they're like, oh, please do a reissue. They're like, we're not planning on making a reissue of anything. And for those deniers that are going to say, I'm just trying to create FOMO, I don't work for them, I have no gain from this, just to show you, they literally said it right here. If you haven't seen this new release, I'll talk about it here some more in a second, but literally they're saying right here, this product is made to order, so no stock will be held in advance. This is a limited time pre-order campaign. We recommend interested customers place orders early, which essentially is saying get it while you can, because after we're not doing anything else. I don't think they've officially made a statement that they're not going to do a reissue of any of their other stuff, but judging by the way they're going as a company starting right now, it seems like that's not going to be something that they prioritize, right? Which is doing reissues, which, in my opinion, kind of sucks, right? I'm very consumer oriented. Like, I always go to bat for us, the consumer, because it really sucks that they're not going to re-release this. And if you want to be able to enjoy these, I mean, dude, you're going to have to pay like, I guarantee you that by the time that the rest of these, by the time this company really catches on, which is catching on pretty quickly, you're gonna have to pay like probably upwards of $300 for one of these. Um, so it's crazy. So I would definitely say that something like Sexy Eyes 2019 is something that you definitely should have FOMO for. They are telling you openly that they are not planning to do reissues. Like I said, I don't know if it's everything or just certain things, right? Like here's the initial promotional shots for it. Um, I don't think they. Let's see. Yeah, so like it doesn't say anything on here that they're not gonna do any reissues or anything like that. But I assume that that goes for all of their products. They probably did it for their newer products because they were getting a lot of emails and messages, I'm sure, about if they're gonna do reissues or not. So I would say, you know, just pay attention and grab it while you can. And I'll move over here to it. We have the official listing on Bombas Bee. I need to go ahead and pre-order mine before this thing goes out. So Essentially, this is like one of their newer figures. It is reusing some of the stuff from their previous release, which is the Eliminator, but I'm completely fine with that. But there is a lot of retooling as well. You can't see it and everything. This is just an image that shows the articulation. But so it comes with the head, the additional gear, the hands, like a football, like mortar type deal. You have the bat, which they're calling Lucille, which is pretty funny. That's pretty cool that they're making a nod at The Walking Dead. And then these close quarter battle SMGs, which is really dope. And then the pre-order bonus is this head. So I think if you pre-order it, you're safe to go. Like I think everyone got it that got any of the versions of the Eliminator. This is the Smasher, and just letting you guys know, he does not come with this. It says it right here. Um, but he does have the holes. You can see one of the holes right there in the corner. So I would say that you should not mess around. Don't fuck around and find out with stuff like this. Just put your pre-order in. Worst case scenario, you don't end up wanting it. You don't like it. You can go ahead and cancel it, and they'll probably refund you your deposit. It doesn't say anything about non-refundable, but these look amazing. Unfortunately, they do state here there is no squad edition. So let's see, there you go. This item is sold individually, no squad version. Um, so yeah, just kind of to start it off, I would say that things like this, specifically in this scenario, Unkval, but more things like this, I would say, are the kind of things that you should definitely have FOMO for. Okay, now covering one more thing that I would say is pretty FOMO friendly, if you will. We'll just use that saying for this is third party stuff. Which again, if you're pretty ear to the ground when it comes to the action figure community, you should know about this Kong Studios Broly, which again kind of took people by surprise and flashed the market. Like it was crazy when this guy dropped. He was going for like $300. But thankfully they're doing a reissue. But again, these are smaller studios that usually are the same way. They make everything to order. Pretty much anything on 5K, I would say, like you're gonna be paying out the ass once it's dead and gone. But not everything. But I would specifically say most of the third party stuff for Dragon Ball, you're gonna be paying a pretty hefty markup once it's gone. So these are also the kinds of things that you should be on the lookout. And again, most of the times they do deposit, put it in, secure your pre-order. Later on, if you decide you don't want it, you can go ahead and cancel it. You're not paying like it's like maybe I think it was $20 to reserve one of these. So again, it's one of those things that better safe than sorry, because a lot of people were sorry when they didn't get the initial release. Now, kind of pivoting to another topic, we're gonna go ahead and go on to the medium. I would say there's a scenario for this. So the reason I say this is a medium is because it's half FOMO, half not. So for things like Tamashi, like SH Figure Arts, a lot of other stuff, Medicom. I'm using the SH Figure Arts Cyclops just because this guy is like, I can't wait to have this guy, and I gotta look at him every now and then just to remind myself how badass this is gonna be when it finally drops. But as you can see here, you're looking at two different prices. So going based off of what I paid on Nin in game, it was $59.82. That's what I paid. But going ahead, we'll input the current price. You're looking at $65 plus shipping. You could get the really cheap shipping, which is $15, which would average out to $80, or you can get the like 2-3 day shipping from DHL or FedEx, which is around like I said 3 days, which is $20. So you're looking at $85. Meanwhile, here on Big Bad Toy Store, not only do you have to put an NRD on it to pre-order, here you do not have to do that. You actually don't even have to pay the full price up front. Um, yeah, neither do you here, but that's what I'm saying. Like one is free and cheaper, and then the other one is free but more expensive. So this guy's $100 plus. It'll be 90 once you put the NRD, and then they go to charge you. But taxes, you're looking at probably like 96 plus the $4 flat rate. You're looking at about 112, $115 versus 80 to 85 from an import site. Like people try to say like, oh, it comes out to around the same, but it's I mean, that's $20-$30. If you're planning on buying more stuff, right? Especially with the new Hasbro stuff coming out, that's a Hasbro figure that you could buy with that extra markup that you're gonna have to pay. And then also on top of all of that, you get it early, which for whatever reason I'm sure there's some logistical reason for it, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense even logistically. You could just send it out all at the same time, but the US release is always like, it's getting worse actually. Like initially when I first started buying figures, it was only like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks that you were waiting. Now for most pre-orders, I'm sure the tariff situation had something to do with it. You're waiting about 2 to 3 months. Like that Dragon Ball Daima Vegeta and Goku, I started seeing reviews of them like near the end of March, and I barely got mine like a week ago. So it's pretty crazy, and I got it like almost the same day it dropped when Toy Arena got it. So you're waiting a lot more, and for me, someone who's impatient as hell, that's very important. So I would always recommend try to get the overseas release, because not only is it cheaper, but you also get it sooner. And then on top of all of that, when U.S. retailers eventually get it, things like Toy Arena, Big Bad Toy Store, your local comic book shop, they're gonna mark this guy up. So he's already $100 at Big Bad Toy Store. You're probably gonna be paying 110 to 115 in store plus tax. So like 120, 125. And that's not even considering resellers that are probably gonna be selling this guy upwards of 120. So I would say that's kind of the thing, is like, if you don't mind waiting, you're still gonna be able to get it. But you're gonna have to pay a little bit more. But it's not gonna be as bad as like something like the Unkval Eliminators and the Smashers that are, they're saying they're not gonna reissue. You can only get them here, and then like I said, the history of them going up by so much. Something like this is definitely not gonna be anywhere near as severe or bad. Kind of to cap this all off, I'll go with the stuff that you should never have FOMO for. Obviously, the FOMO is going to be kind of subjective. Some people are like, they gotta have it the day it drops, they gotta have it. And then there's people that aren't. But I would say that doesn't even really go into play with stuff like Marvel Legends. The most recent, and you could go back, just look up Marvel Legends Maximum Drama, and you will see how much issues there were with this figure. The price, the a slight rug pull that they did when they put a small batch for pre-order, and they're like, "Oh, pre-orders are gone. You're gonna miss out." Pre-orders sold out. People bought like 5 pre-orders, and it was just like crazy. And then, as you can see here, he's currently in stock and is not sold out, even on the Hasbro Pulse website, which is pretty crazy. Further adding on to that, you got everything here. This guy's going for $31.99. All of these, like the new Game Reverse wave from the Spider-Man game, they're going for $32 on Amazon, and pretty much at all retailers, they're going for about $32. I think I just saw this guy at Target for $26.99. So you do not have to have any FOMO with this guy. Like, just be patient. Do not pay those scalper prices. Like, it's ridiculous. I, no joke, saw like pretty much every single one of these figures. Have seen them at least in some way, shape, or form. Have seen them going for like double or triple what they're worth on the aftermarket, just because people are like super impatient. Like low stock bullshit. Like the movie hasn't even come out yet. You really think they're not gonna do another stock when the movie actually drops? Like, do not fall for this FOMO. This is definitely like, and this isn't the only brand that does it. This is the brand that I know of, because personally I fucking hate Hasbro and I hate a lot of their business practices. But I'm sure that McFarlane does it in some capacity, and so does pretty much every other domestic. So, kind of ending it off there. I don't want to drag this on for too long or anything. I would say you just have to pay attention to the company that is producing whatever pre-order you want, right? And then also what type of figure it is. Most times, imports, really the nature of import FOMO is like, you're gonna get it later and then you might pay a little bit more, which is the case. for stuff that's like not only imports, but it's also a smaller company and they're telling you that it's going to be made to order, those are the kinds of things that you should have severe FOMO for and pre-order as soon as possible, as soon as you can. And then all the way on the other side of the spectrum, where you should not be paying for this shit until you see it in your hand and you're sure that this is something you would want, is anything domestic or, Marvel Legends, McFarlane's, GI Joes, stuff like that. Like those are the kinds of things that you should have no FOMO for. Like people were thinking that all of these things were gonna sell out. Literally nothing has sold out. It's pretty crazy. Like just do not have any FOMO for this. But as always, guys, I hope the video was informative, and I hope it helped you out in some way. Maybe it made you think better, or whatever. As long as it helped you in some way, I hope that's what happened when you watched this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. We're doing really good. Videos are getting a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of new subscribers, and I really appreciate it. And as always, if you guys like the video, make sure to drop a like, drop a share, drop a sub, and as always, thank you so much for watching. You have a great day. Peace.